joined by Hofstra head coach Shannon Smith and graduate student Shannon Boyle. Coach, an opening statement about today's 13-6 win over Wagner.
Yeah, really excited to get another win underneath our belt this week. It was a quick turnaround from our game on Saturday. I thought it was a really scrappy win. Overall, they're really tough. I thought they came out really hard against us in the third quarter, and we played a little bit more lockdown defense in the fourth quarter, but just really proud of our team, fighting really hard and offensively being able to put the shots away that we did have.
Before we get to questions, if you could comment on Shannon Boyle's game and Katie Whalen's output today as well.
Yeah, starting with Shannon Boyle, she was all over the place like she is every game for us. Thought that she fought really hard on the draw controls. We won the draws, something we talked about in the huddle before we went out in the fourth quarter. It was 4-0 with draws in the fourth quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if she had all four of them. I think she did, and that was a huge turnaround for us. Defensively, she had a really great game when we were in man against number 27 from Wagner, 27 had no goals, and she's their leading goal scorer. So that was really big for us. And then, Shannon's the leader in our zone defense. So really great game, cleared the ball well. And then Katie Whalen did a really great job at placing the ball in the draw circle for us and where we wanted it early in the game. Was seeing some cutters really well, and producing goals for us. So overall, really great for us on the offense, and those two kids plus Ariana as our returning fifth-year seniors are doing a really great job at leading the team. And
Shannon Boyle, what were your thoughts today? You were kind of all over the field with draw controls and caused turnovers and ground balls.
I think we were definitely really dominant in the first half, and we knew going into halftime, Shannon said that Wagner is a second-half team, so I think that third quarter we were kind of a little bit caught off guard, and then in the fourth quarter we were really locked in. Like Shannon said, kind of just controlling the draw. Courtney was doing a great job of placing it where I could get it. And then our zone looked good. We weren't really letting anything in, so I think that was the biggest difference.
A huge stat line: 5 ground balls, 6 draw controls, and 2 caused turnovers. Shan, where'd you go? Okay, I didn't even see that until I read the stats. Knew she was all over, but not that all over. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Coach, coming out of the half, Wagner had a little bit of a spurt in goal scoring there. What changed on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think that defensively we started to get a little bit more wide versus being a little bit closer together. We had 2 fouls that resulted in some man downs for us. So they had 2 of their 3 goals, I think, were on, when we were man down. So I think that kind of was a little bit different. And, so I think that just kind of changed the game around a little bit for us. We just had to communicate better. Thought that our slides created some offense for them, unlike what we were doing in the first and second quarter. So we'll just watch some film, get better, and from those few mistakes that we made.
What was the difference in conversation like between between the first half and the second half compared to the third quarter and the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think that when we were coming out at halftime, it was one thing that we talked about when you have a lead like that, is just kind of resetting yourselves, knowing that the other team's going to come out harder. We talked about that. I think that they got some momentum, and then when we brought it in the fourth quarter, we just kind of say, hey, told you this was going to happen. It happened, and now we have our opportunity to respond in the fourth quarter, and it was going to come up big on draws, and Shannon was able to turn that around. And defensively, we played some really lockdown D, and then offensively, Grace Langella had some big goals. Jackie had one in the slow break, so it was great to get that going on the offensive side for us as well.
Ms. Boyle, how did you feel readjusting in the second half of the game?
Like I said, I think that third quarter we were kind of adjusting. Shannon said we were sliding a little bit more than we had to, which was creating offense for Wagner. But I think once we brought it in for that third quarter going to the fourth quarter, we kind of knew what we had to do. Defense as a whole, we were like, we need to lock down, no more goals. And I think just kind of having that mentality going to the fourth quarter is what kind of pushed us through.
So like Coach said, you kind of were like all over the place, which is, good. But I noticed that you kind of had opportunities to score. So how badly did you want to score?
I guess badly. I don't know. It's something me and Shannon have always talked about. If I'm there, I'll try to go sometimes. But, just kind of not going to force it, let it happen itself. And if the opportunity's there, it's there.
Coach, Jess Smith today in goal, only 6 goals allowed, 9 saves. What can you say about the job she did today?
Jess is playing really well in the cage for us. She had another standout game. She's seen the ball super well. I think that comes down to our defense as well, giving some the looks that we want to see. I thought that in the fourth quarter, Jess had some big saves, but some of those goals were right on the doorstep. She turned up big. She sees the ball, well there. So just really proud of Jess and the work that she's putting in outside to get better. But she's playing some really great goaltending for us right now.
Coach, Taylor Manella, 3 goals in this game, seemed to have a lot of those isolations against 5 of Wagner. What did you like in that matchup on the offensive end?
Yeah, Taylor was doing a great job competing, working hard, and being able to get to the goal. So she had a lot of, great opportunities out there, and she's a really hard dodger for us. So we try to find out what matchups are going to work for us and try to use that to our advantage.
Thank you, guys.